So today's video, the topic that I just put, I wanted to talk about why it's important to interpret pieces and also how it helped me a lot. Aside from that, the topic of the video, I also want to mention, like, I haven't made a video in a very, very long time. I really apologize for that. I just keep thinking, like, I have many people I know would be happy that if I do a video or something, and I have been, doing something else, which is composing, by the way, but still, I aside from the topic itself, I'm saying that I want to make this video just to catch up with you guys and talk a little bit. Just make a short video, like hopefully short. I talk a lot, so let's see. So I wanted to make this video again about the importance of interpreting pieces and how it helped me, and I think how it would help you as well, especially if you're in taking the route of like composing and making your own music, stuff like that. Because I've been hearing a lot, like, growing up and in flamenco especially, you hear a lot of like, don't play others, you have to make your own music and you have to do this and that, which is, fair. Like in flamenco, you have to make your own stuff and you have to have your own voice and you have to stand out and have your own brand and all that kind of thing, which is what the whole, the whole community would push you to do if you were to take that, professional route, let's say. But again, you have to play other people's pieces. You have to play other maestros, especially like Sabicas, like Paco de Lucia, Vicente Amigo, Paco Peña, and others. Like it's very important to do that first. And why it's important is for many reasons. But one of the things that helped me a lot, and I have to thank my students for this, by the way, because my whole, like, kind of like in my teenage years and also in my early 20s, I was obsessed with like Vicente Amigo and Paco de Lucia, but especially Vicente. And then I got some students and I started giving them lessons, and they wanted something else. Like at some point they were like asking, a few of them, like, hey, can we do Paco Peña? I like this piece from Paco Peña, or I like this piece from Sabicas. I haven't done enough Sabicas. So my first was Con Garbo y Salero that I posted. That is, again, because of having to teach it, I had to learn it to teach it. And we do it throughout, like during the lesson, I learn a falsetto with the student, and then we try to kind of get the recording at the very end of the lesson to him, for the student to get the material and that kind of thing. So I started doing that. I learned small details from Sabicas that I would never have learned from, let's say, Vicente Amigo or even Paco de Lucia. So each player overall, they have, generally speaking, they would have like one or two things that they are best at, and then other things that they are amazing. But like, for example, Sabicas was known for his pulgar. When you hear Sabicas, like he I think they used to joke, it's like you can hear his pulgar from a mile away. Paco Cepero as well. Like this thing, doing something like with an remate or something at the very end of a falseta and using pulgar, that was something that it's kind of, I know it's there, but not as much as when I hear Sabicas doing it. Sabicas, for example, would do, for example, or like proper falsetas with just pulgar. Like you'd use the pulgar and just explode at the very end. And or like he'd be playing something and you'd hear his pulgar enter. That's suddenly like that. That is what helped me most, especially in terms of composing. I started to see it in a different perspective, opening a little bit the vision, but not just listening, because of course I already listen to their pieces, but playing them I'm referring to, okay? Because I know some of you are going to say, hey, you should have been listening all this time. I know, and I have been, but playing is completely different, because hearing it from the speakers or headphones or whatever, it sounds okay. It sounds like, yeah, he's doing something, but getting to play it and feeling that kind of that momentum, trying to keep that momentum as you're playing the piece, is amazing. So that was my takeaway from Sabicas, for example, having like a nice pulgar for remate. I used it for the Granaina when I did at the very end. Nice. Yeah. There's a section here and then I go. Down again, but like that idea of using the pulgar to close a falseta, that was from Sabicas, for example. The idea of like doing a pulgar at the end of it, like that's the idea. You get what I mean, right? Like at the very end, using something with pulgar like that. And doing Paco Peña, for example, many students also like to play Paco Peña as much as I do. Like Paco Peña is more simplistic in the way he does things, and he just plays palos that make the palos sound exactly as it should be. He doesn't overcomplicate things, although there are some things that are complicated. Of course, you're playing flamenco, so it's going to be complicated. But with Paco Peña, you get the simplicity. For example, if you play some Paco Peña, you will understand that like you don't have to overcomplicate things, right? With Paco Peña, he has melodies like an Alegrías, for example. Alegrías like this, that you can just, it's important to keep also the compass and all. It's a little bit simple in terms of melody, but try to play that and see how difficult it is, because there's a lot of things going on with the right hand, especially from arpeggio to pulgar, rasgueado, picado, alzapó. It's like a mix of things that are happening very, very quickly while still being simplistic on the left. So again, you get that from Paco Peña, you get the melody from Vicente if you just do. Just also melody is just so amazing. Like I saw a video from Alimiola just the other day. I think it was a month ago already, just the other day, and he talked about the importance of interpretation as well. And he said, if you want to make your own sound, you have to go through other players playing their pieces, and then as you are playing their pieces, you're going to find that there are some things you don't necessarily like so much. There are some small details. Maybe that chord is not so much your taste. You just play their pieces and you start to figure out your own sound, but you have to go through them. And there's absolutely nothing wrong with that. And I'm saying this kind of like venting a little bit because, man, I've had this, like I always have this in the back of my head now, that especially now because I'm putting out my album and I'm composing and I'm doing so many things related to making my own music, right? And I've been hearing a lot of like, yeah, this is sound like Vicente, this sounds like Paco, this is not good. Like, man, come on, like if you just go to the beginning of Paco de Lucia, he sounded exactly like Sabicas and Ramon Montoya, like the same. Nino Ricardo also, like just so much influence from them. Sabicas, I still don't know who he's influenced by, because Sabicas is just insanely good. I hear again Paco de Lucia and I hear like Sabicas, like there are ideas that are exactly from Sabicas and even they sound the same. And then you hear Vicente Amigo, which is amazing. He has already his own, world and style, but still he's similar to Isidro Munoz and Manolo Sanlúcar because he studied with them. And nobody says anything. It's okay, right? Because people don't necessarily say like, he sounds like this, so he's bad. No, they don't say that. They say this sounds amazing. They love that, and then through that they grow, and then they make their own style. So, like I said, part of this is venting. It's like, man, come on, it's okay. It sounds a little bit like Vicente. So what? It sounds a little bit like Paco. What's the big deal? You start to find your own way through that. So that's the idea of basically playing interpretations. That's the second reason. The third reason, I haven't been counting, but the first reason was the technique and everything. Second reason would be understanding, to find your way. Yeah. And then the third reason would be understanding structure about pieces. Like you cannot just, unless you're, freaking genius, you just come out and start making perfectly structured pieces. Like you have to also like listen and also interpret other songs so that you can understand how they are structured. How long is an introduction? How long is a falseta in flamenco? Where is the remate usually in the like everybody knows the remate is the end, but like how do you do that? What is the characteristics? Play that and then you can see that. So structure would be also very, very important thing to learn by interpreting other people's music. I guess the order should be you learn technique, different kind of techniques, how to use, and then it should be structure, and then also finding your own sound, because that is like the way to go, right? The more you play other people's music, the more you start to find, like I said, you play something and you realize, man, that chord is not so much me. I don't like that. Well, I would have put something else. I always say this to students, by the way. I don't know. I hope they don't get annoyed with it. Because sometimes we're learning something like from Sabicas or Vicente Amigo, even a lot of Vicente Amigo. or Paco Peña, and I'm like, nah, I would not have put this chord. It's kind of, it ruins the moment, you know. I say things like that, and I hope they're okay with it, because sometimes it feels like I want to put something else. Like if it were mine, I want to change it. I would do something different. And sometimes the students were like, okay, what would you do? And I look for it, and this is what I would do. And I was talking with Jason McGUIRE, the best person in the world, the best luthier, and he was telling me the same thing. And he was telling me that when you start to go inside the details of each person, that is already your sound. Like, I think I'm going to add to that, because he told me, like, when you start to dig into the details of what you are doing, the more details you're going to find things that make you more yourself and your style. And what I'm going to add to this is that with time, you don't have to go that much in detail anymore. You can start to hear directly who is playing directly, right? So maybe this is how I'm thinking. Maybe it's like that. And we're playing flamenco also. He told me the other day, like, we're playing flamenco. We all sound like each other eventually, you know, which is true. But like, again, in the beginning, it's the small details that would make it you. For example, in the introduction of the bulerias that I do, if you zoom in very much, I'm talking about like very subtle details here. But an example of what he was talking about, that's how I interpret it, was here, there's a note that I just hammer on, that I don't play. For example, when I do, and then I continue with the index. It came kind of natural to me to do something like that. When I did, and then it kind of flows more natural, the dynamic go like this. Yeah, it goes it's very hard, by the way. So that small detail, like, I know sometimes you hear hammering on without playing the right hand or anything, but I don't know if it was done in that specific way, for example. And this is zooming in very much. Like, if you're just hearing the song, or it goes by like it's nothing, right? So zooming into the details, you'd start to see more and more things. There's more than that. The more you go into the harmony, the more that you go into, for example, a chord like something like that. It might sound natural, a small other detail would be also when I do a golpe without playing the note. For example, in the very beginning, again, this is still in the first, 3 seconds maybe, no? A little bit more, to be fair. You can even play it without any of the right hand as well. For example, no? These little hammer-ons and these like golpe ligado or just hammer-on, and there's more, the more you go like in the harmony and all these things. So these things will make you more yourself, like zooming into the details. It's things like that you will notice, which I really love, by the way, what he said, Jason McGUIRE. We talk every day now. we just always talk about the other day we were saying, like, every guitar ends with every sentence. See, look, every sentence ends with the word guitar or starts with the word guitar. Like, we just talk about it all the time. He's doing incredible work, and I feel so guilty that I haven't been doing videos, because I genuinely want more people to hear the guitar, and I've been telling everybody. So now that I've been composing a lot, and I want to share something with you, even the small thing, a falsetto I've been working. The strings are dead right now, sorry. But again, I want to just do something today. It's been like the end of March already, and it's, I haven't done anything. Been working on a taranta. I almost basically finished the Farruca. I just need the confirmation. I always go through Jose Carlos Gomez as like the last guy who'd say, okay, and then it's okay. Like, if he doesn't, I feel always like, I have to work, I have to do more, I have to make it better or something. Even if I'm like satisfied, he always opens my eyes and like, that is okay, but you can do this is whatever. So anyway, so I've basically finished the Farruca. I will get his confirmation soon on that. I did another bulerias. It's totally different bulerias than the one I did, this one. And I'm working on a taranta, which I'm thinking playing a falsetta from that taranta. I again kind of finished it, but not quite. I didn't even say anything to Jose Carlos at this point that I'm doing that, so So let's see how that goes. And again, so I don't want to make this video too long, but I want to say again, just wrapping things up, like, play other people's music, play their songs, play their their pieces, write them down, look at the structure, zoom out, zoom in, see how long a falsetta is, see how long an introduction is, see how long a remate is, because the remate is one of the most important things in flamenco. See how it sounds, how it's usually done. I'm still learning this, by the way. It's not like I'm there. No, I'm still learning that as we speak. I'm doing the music, and then I do something, a remate, and then I'm like, man, this is not good. I need to make it a little bit better, a little bit more exciting. I especially contact with Jose Carlos Gomez. We are working together like that. And he says to me, like, maybe you can make it more like this, more like that, and keep it as it is, it's perfect, or whatever, like all that kind of thing. So I'm also learning this. But I want to say, don't be afraid to play other people's music. If you want to do, original music, if you want to play that kind of thing, don't shy away from that, and don't let anybody tell you otherwise. That's how I feel. Like I said, it's venting, because I've been hearing a lot of that chord sounds like this, or this is like Vicente, this melody is like Paco. This is, you know what? Just play, man. It's okay. You go through that, and then you find your own way. It's okay. Every single person has that influence from somebody else. So get that, at least from me. I hope I can give you the green light. It's okay to sound like them, but like, not a copy, right? Not like, if you have something that sounds like them, maybe choose a different chord, change it. One note sometimes can change the whole world. Look for that. Look for this different kind of sounds, and learn how to do that. This kind of talk is, again, for people who want to really find their own style, their music, compose. But even if it's just for fun, like, you don't have to be doing it for like a living or anything. But for fun, it can be so satisfying. I don't know. Am I talking too much? Let me play a falsetta, and then we can get this over with. And I want to say thank you for all who left a very nice comments on the Granaina, especially because that's the one I did video of, and I do plan to do more videos. Like I said, I'm composing a lot. It's so annoying. It's so annoying because I compose and I spend all day, and sometimes it feels like I do 3-4 hours for like 30 seconds that makes sense. Maybe that's an exaggeration. Maybe like 3 hours for like 40 seconds of something that I can say, okay, that's I can use. And it could be just an idea of it, even not even like the thing as it is. So it's a lot of putting time on something and getting back just a little bit. And that's only because I'm picky, by the way. Like, if I want to finish my album tomorrow, I can have everything out. No problem. I already have I even have 5, 6, everything, like so many things I can release just tomorrow if I want. It's something that when you grow older and you look back, you want to say, I did the right thing. I like what I did here. I don't regret that. That's the thing I'm looking for. I'm looking for something that is good music eventually. That's literally all. Fame is good for bread on the table and stuff, but I'm thinking of way bigger picture than that. I'm thinking of, like, I really just want to leave something good behind, right? Something that's worth it. So anyway, I'll play a short falsetta, and then I'll leave you. Thank you for watching, and I'll see you next time.